Good evening, everybody, on this new moon. All right, so as if any of you have been looking on Instagram today, you'll know that this new moon is accompanied by an eclipse, which is quite auspicious and important. There is so much going on with energy shifts, and I've been talking about this for many, many months now with regards to out with the old, in with the new. And you're so sick of hearing it, I'm sure, if you've been following a lot of the readers out there or been listening to me for a couple of months now. This is, the culmination of a lot of things and energy moving out and stuff that we've been dealing with for a very, very long time, as far back as some people, experiencing going through bad things that sort of started around 2017 already and working through all of these things. And some people say that we've actually been on a stretch of working out negative cycles for the past 7 years, and now we are switching over into the next 7 years, which is said to be very, very positive. I think that some of you are seeing telltale signs already that things are a lot more positive or sort of moving in that direction. Maybe there's also been some loss to some extent, whether it's, in the material with physical loss of people in your life or certain things that have moved their way out of your life, maybe changing your circle of friends. But there's been change and shifts going on all the time. And we're seeing sometimes, if we didn't see initially that it was something positive, in hindsight, we see, oh, actually, maybe it was better that things worked out this way. If you've been seeing that, expect to see more of it. All right, because things are definitely shifting, and instead of us just talking about it, people are going to begin to see it now. All right, shifts in their work, their love life, their business, whatever the case is, and things are going to start coming up. So this eclipse and this new moon especially, and the month of July, is going to start moving things quite swiftly, faster than what we've seen in the past. We've been saying, things are moving in a better direction, but we're actually going to see it really kick off this month. We're going to see people doing things very impulsively, but for the good. So if you've been hesitating and thinking, I should be doing this, I should be starting this, I should say this to this person, this month something's going to just kick you up the butt, and before you know it, you're saying those things, you're doing those things, you're making those plans, or you're making those shifts in your life. All right, so what I'm going to do tonight is just ask what the messages are. What's most important for us? What do we need to know today? All right, I'm not going to try and do anything specific. I'm just going to let the cards speak for themselves. I've decided to use the Mermaid Tarot. No, not Mermaid Tarot, sorry. Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, which usually gives really great insight and very direct. I'm also going to use the Spirit Oracle, which I usually use. These give nice messages as well, just to finish off and give some guidance. I'm going to use the Earth Magic Oracle cards. Lovely deck to use, and also because there's so many cards in here, there are 48 cards, which gives you a nice mix of possibilities and messages. And then a little bit out of the ordinary, I'm going to use past life reading cards to see what are the things that we've been dealing with, what are the things we're going to deal with, and see what comes up. And this reading, as usual, is going to be impromptu. You're going to watch me do it, so we're going to see what comes up, and I can't make anything up or mess with it, okay? So, let us begin with Earth Magic, I think. I think that's what I want to start with. Okay, so I'm just going to ask today, what are the messages that we need to get? What is most important for us to know now? And, let's not complicate it, because I think so many people are feeling there's just too much. We're saying out with the old, in with the new. Make a list of what you want to get rid of. Make a list of what you want to attract into your life. And it just becomes a bit overwhelming, especially if it's the first time you're doing it. And you're just like, well, what am I actually doing here? Letting go of bringing in, you don't know what, if you're manifesting or pushing out, and maybe the energies are getting mixed up a little bit as well. I find that even for myself sometimes, I think, okay, what do I want to get rid of? What do I want to attract? and then I sort of end up mushing them together until I bring myself back into focus. And if that's happening for some of you, then it's better to just, have a bit of guidance, something a little bit more clear cut on what do I need to actually focus on right now. So we're asking, what are the messages we need to receive on this new moon about the energies that are coming in, and just what direction do we need to move in, and if they can give us some kind of clarity on what's best for us right now. Maybe even, are we doing the right thing? I think a lot of us are asking that. If you're busy working on something, am I going in the right direction? That's a question of a lot of people. Am I doing the right thing? Am I moving in the right direction at the moment? So please tell us what we need to know today. Okay, there's the first one. Oops. I think we kind of all knew that something like that might come up. First one is celebration. Next one is love, compassion. Usually Kuan Yin pops up for us with that one. She's actually in one of the decks. We'll see if she pops up again to say, hey guys, you're not getting the message, but woo, alright, I'll take those. Summer solstice, which is just passed for some of you, not me in the southern hemisphere, it's damn cold here. Purification and waterfall, effortless. I'll explain that a bit just now. Okay, are there any others? I'll shuffle 3 more times. One for luck. Okay, and we're going to take those 3. Yes, I am. Okay. And they are vulnerability. I think we may have had that before. Nurturing. And new moon. Promise. Okay. Let me just see here. Alright, I think I'm going to pull from all of the decks first, and then we'll talk about them. Alright, so let's see what Mermaids and Dolphins has for us today. Let's move these up a bit so I've got some space to work. Alright, what do we need to know today that's most important for this new moon? That's self-forgiveness. I think we may have had that before as well. Whoops, okay. I like to sort of keep them in order, but then I sometimes turn them around as well, or shift them around. Okay, this is reiterating a lot of stuff that I have spoken about before. So I think we're just being reassured and validated, which is sort of what I wanted, because I was saying, you know, are we moving in the right direction? Are we doing the right things? So, okay, I think that's it. I'm going to do 3 more. Are there any others? I don't know if I want to take that one. Let me just grab it first. Oops, because it decided to just leave the building. Okay. Everything's trying to escape here. Alright. So, here we got self-forgiveness. Is this something you've been having to work on? Accept heaven's help. Are you being stubborn? And if you're doubting being helped, know that you are being helped. Pay attention. Soulmate relationship. This comes up with a common promise card and love. So these are people working on relationships, even these twin flame relationships that everyone's talking about. This is a thing, okay? It's actually happening and going on. I even had my doubts in the beginning, but this is definitely a strong message for everybody, and I want to talk about that. That's actually lovely, because I was going to do a separate like soulmate or twin flame reading, and that's just exactly what I needed. Okay, then we have pay attention. Are you seeing signs and synchronicities and thinking that you're just crazy and you should be ignoring them? This is a sign that you shouldn't. And then empowerment, being powerful and knowing that it's safe to do so, and dream big. Manifestation, worthiness, all of that kind of thing. All right, which we've spoken about in the past. Okay. This makes good sense to me. Okay. Alright, these seem a little bit mixed up at the moment, but I'm going to make sense of them in a minute for us, because I see some that go together and are validating other ones, just to, you know, emphasize the message. I just also need to make some space. I'm going to pull just a few past life cards for us quickly. I just felt I needed to add these tonight. They usually are strictly for my past life readings, but we'll see if anything of relevance comes up here. Okay. Actually, let me just do this, because we have a bit of a space issue. I didn't expect to get so many cards. But we can do that. So I can just work here quick. Just making sure I give them a good shuffle. This is the last one. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to ignore any that are about a specific place or something like that, but is there anything that is in this pack that can bring us a strong message for the new moon and the changes and the shifts that are happening, or anything that is pertinent to anybody that they need to get the message tonight, please? Wow, those two look like they were laid there like that on purpose. Let's see what they are. I'm a bit curious. Okay. Spouse. Look at that. Okay, scribe or writer. That makes perfect sense to me. I'll tell you why now. Because it's something that I've talked about before and I was going to remind you people of tonight. You know that a good new moon practice is to write down your stuff that you want to release and your stuff that you want to attract. Okay, anything else, please? That would be relevant here. I almost feel like those are the last two, or the only two. I'm going to do three last three. One for luck. I was just thinking, this is so much about partnerships and relationships. We couldn't possibly get more cards like that tonight. Okay, so big theme on romance and romantic relationships. Okay. I want to talk about that first, actually, because I feel as if some of it's going to come down to that. For those of you who are in relationships, not in relationships, but looking for somebody, wondering if you'll ever find somebody, are you doing anything wrong? Are you doomed to be alone forever? People ask me things like this. And no, I don't believe so in anybody's case. Sorry. However, this whole journey that we're on at the moment of, energy shifts, people becoming more spiritual, all of that is to bring things back into alignment. And what I mean by that is to bring back a balance in duality. And balance in duality means the balance between the masculine and feminine. And anything that is to almost what we would perceive as polar opposites, summer and winter, happiness, sadness, night, day, all of these kind of things, there has to be a balance and a duality. So when it comes to relationships in the past, things have been unbalanced. We all know that in the past couple of decades especially, there's been a lot of heartache. Things like divorce have been prevalent, and broken homes, broken families, all of that kind of thing. And yes, all of us have been there. On some level, we've either been in a family where we have been the children that have been in a divorced family, or we are the parents who are no longer with the mother or the father of our child. Whatever the case is, or we've been in abusive relationships, or we've been in many relationships and found ourselves maybe in our 30s or 40s and not in a relationship, and we wonder, why? Why have things failed so many times? Why can't I get it right? Why can't I choose the right person or find the right partner? Start questioning things about ourselves. But we've now gone recently through this stage where we start with introspection. We start looking at ourselves, we start looking inwardly, and this is what this journey has been about for us. And every new moon and every full moon, we discuss this, and we've been purging and trying to purify and all of this stuff that's coming up here. And we've been working hard. A lot of us have been working very hard on ourselves, trying to improve ourselves with the twin flame relationships. A lot of the time, people are in separation and they don't know why they're in separation, and they find out later that it was because they needed to work on themselves. They need to become better versions of themselves, and sometimes those people bring that out in us. So it's all for the greater good. And what happens then is you separate, you move inwardly, you start looking at yourself, you start caring for yourself, and you start having more self love, which obviously results in less abusive relationships because you won't tolerate an abusive relationship. You look after yourself more, which puts you in a better stead and in a better frame of mind and at a higher vibration. So you start attracting different types of people with your high vibration. And so what happens in that case is you either get rid of that toxic person in your life and move away from them permanently and learn the lesson, whether it be a karmic lesson or whatever the case is, or you end up in the long run getting back with that person. But at the end of the day, you've both worked on yourselves a lot. You've looked at your faults, you've realized why things have happened, or maybe why things have not happened, and you come together again in a much more mature, stable, and wholesome relationship. So this is what this is about. And so whether you are going to get back with that specific person or not will depend on where you sit at the end of the day after all of this transition and where your values sit. Whether you deserve better and you realize that you deserve better, but at the end of the day, it's about you living your best life, you being the best version of yourself, and remembering why you're here and that the journey is about you, your purpose, and only you. Okay, so whoever comes into your life, whether it be karmic for a lesson or whatever the case is, like I always say, lessons and blessings, that's what we're here to learn, and it's for ourselves, for yourself. You need to look after yourself, you need to nurture yourself, and you need to respect yourself. And this is what all of this is coming down to. Okay, and the minute you do that, you are in sync with the universe and things start working better, your vibrations higher, you're looking after yourself, you're exercising better, you're getting more oxygen into your body, you're eating better, you're relaxing more, all of the stuff that's actually good for you, because we start getting rid of these mindsets where we have to work ourselves to death and not have any fun and skip meals because otherwise you're not going to meet that deadline, and our priorities are shifting. And this is what this is all about. And this is very, very necessary. So these are the things we need to look at. And at the end of the day, these relationships are going to be attracted to you because you're attracting different things because of the work that you've done on yourself. All right. So here it's talking about spouse, whether you're attracting this person, whether you're into marriage or not, or if you are rekindling something or healing a relationship with your spouse. The thing to do here, if you haven't reached that point yet, is to remember that the new moon is about closing off cycles. It's a symbolic death of something. And what you can do is say, I'm now releasing this relationship, whatever shape or form it may find itself in. I'm releasing this relationship and I'm asking it to be taken from me and either to, be released so that I don't have to deal with it anymore and there's peaceful separation, or to return to me healed, so that we can try again and things can be more wholesome than they were in the past. So this is why this love life card comes up, so that you know what to do. If you are single, you need to work on yourself. The minute you are in balance and looking after yourself and exercising self-care and all the good stuff and having compassion for yourself and for other people, don't ever forget yourself. The minute you start doing that is when this starts being attracted to you. The minute you start giving it out and exuding it and projecting it is when it's attracted to you. Okay, and promise could also mean marriage, but you need to also leave things behind. The new moon is about leaving things behind and trying to begin again and renewal. Like I said, leave the past behind and say, you know what, if this relationship is meant for me, it will be so, but I'm leaving it and I'm giving it up to the universe. Please, if it's meant for me, bring it back to me healed. Once I've finished being the best version of myself and making myself dateable and making myself someone who I would want as a spouse. These relationships mirror each other. It's about synchronicity. It's about this. It's about things flowing beautifully and things coming in 50-50. There's no longer place for relationships where one is a financial burden on somebody else, or I just want to be, living off you and sitting on the couch while you work yourself half to death. But I love you, baby. Go off to work and just make me some money. That doesn't happen anymore. Or one is more abusive to the other, where another person has to do all the housework, or silly little things like that. That is disrespectful. And that person can pretend that they want it like that, or because they are stuck in old ways of doing things. But at the end of the day, this is going to come to an end. The energies are shifting and things are changing, and this is no longer going to be the way it is. So, this symbiosis, this symbiotic relationship and not a parasitic relationship is what you're looking for. And if you're not at that point yet, then you're not ready and you need to work towards it. Okay, so in order to do that, these are the things we need to work on. We're first being told here that there's really good stuff coming and that you have been working hard, and we're going to start seeing the fruits of our labor. You know, that saying of you plant the seeds today, but it doesn't mean that the fruit's going to be born today. We have to wait, we have to have patience, and that is one of the biggest lessons we've been taught over the past months. Humans aren't really good at patience. But please know that this tonight, especially, and the summer solstice or winter solstice you've had, whichever part of the world you're in, has been very, very important in this shift. And here it says celebration. So now you're going to start feeling really good energy. You're going to feel the sun shining. Like I said, there's cycles. A lot of you have had winters of your life. It's now time for the sun to shine. And we've heard that many, many times. This reading is to reinforce and validate things for you. Okay, so start feeling good, start moving your body, listen to music, get that feeling going so that you can attract that kind of energy and you can give off that kind of energy. Okay, and then here it says vulnerability and nurturing. This is also about the self-care, purification as well. Purification is, sometimes I recommend that you guys have something like a salt bath to get rid of any negativity, or just like make yourself feel like you're having a good let go of all the stuff that you're carrying, just to ease the burden a little bit. And I encourage that again. Rain washes things away, it cleanses and it purifies. So you are encouraged to do so, whether that's doing a detox, drinking more water, whatever is good for you and will help with the self-love and looking after yourself. The nurturing, look after yourself, do some gardening, get into nature. Remember what life's about and all the good stuff that comes naturally. And then lastly, vulnerability, being able to be real with people. This is also what this is about. Remember, I said the energy is coming through and you're going to not be able to avoid saying and doing things that are long overdue. Sometimes that requires us to be vulnerable and to say things that we haven't said for a long time when we've needed to, or to tell someone that we care for them. Come forward with a romantic gesture. That makes us feel vulnerable. This is also something human beings don't like. We don't like feeling vulnerable. That's out of our comfort zone. But this is all about shifting you out of your comfort zone. Okay. So the ones that all right, let me speak about effortless quickly, because it's the last one of those. Effortless. This speaks about a waterfall and how beautiful it is and how majestic it is. And it seems like it effortlessly flows down the mountain. And it does, but you need to remember the power behind it, the power that water has to be able to cut through these rocks and create this waterfall in the first place. But it makes it seem effortless. And also because it has help that is unseen, it has gravity. So you need to depend and rely and trust in the unseen assistance that you're getting, and realize that you don't have to force things and you don't have to feel the need to control things all the time, and that there is help there. You are being assisted, and that it can be a lot more effortless than what we're making it out to be. We sort of like panicking and saying, am I doing the right thing? Am I purging enough? Am I letting go enough? Am I trying enough? Am I having enough compassion? And don't let yourself worry about these things. Just keep them in mind, because they sit in your subconscious and they will come when it's time. You need to trust more. You need to ask your guides, your guardians, whoever is unseen, to assist with that. And that is reiterated here with these cards. It says, accept heaven's help. You have prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. If any of you have been looking at any of my videos or have been watching Instagram, you know that you have been trying to manifest, so you've asked for stuff. At some point, you then have to say, okay, I'm taking my hand off the steering wheel. Please help me to manifest this, and I want to see what the universe can bring for me. And the universe is going to bring celebration, and the sun is going to shine again if you've been having a hard time. If you've been planting seeds and working hard, things are coming to fruition. This is what is being validated for you. You need to pay attention to signs. If some of you seeing 11, 11, 444, 666, 555, 333, some of them have got to do with union. Keep an eye out. I'll repost again some of the meanings of the repetitive numbers, but listen to songs that you hear repetitively, things that people say around you, words that you hear repetitively. They are sending signs. Sometimes it comes in animals. You may see a butterfly a couple of times, and they're trying to just draw your attention to something. So be open and receptive to that. It says, notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. Follow your gut instincts. As I always say, if it feels good, it's good. If it feels bad, it's bad. Your intuition knows what to do, and you all have it. Okay. Again, you are being helped. I should have put that with that card there. Heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see the results. A saying that I use all the time is, have faith in that which cannot be seen but nevertheless exists. Just like the waterfall gets helped by gravity, we don't see the gravity, but it's aiding it in cutting those paths and creating that beautiful waterfall. They work together. Then we have self-forgiveness. We've had this before already. Let go of guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. So whatever your religious persuasion is, the message is still the same. You're a child of the universe. Everybody makes mistakes. This is part of our human nature. It's part of being human. It's part of the experience we are here to have. And there's nobody who is faultless. Everybody learns through mistakes. If we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't grow wiser. And we have to have absolutely every experience. We have to have regret. We have to have pain. We have to have happiness and sadness. And sometimes all sorts of, experiences and emotions that have to come up, because we need to have the full human experience. So forgive yourself for silly things you did, for something you said wrong. And remember that sometimes we don't forgive ourselves for certain things, but we don't realize that perhaps the person that we hurt forgave us long ago, and we're the ones carrying this around with us when they're like, what are you carrying on about? I forgot about that long ago. So this has come up a few times as well. Please forgive yourself, forgive other people. Life is too short. If you've done something terrible, go and apologize for it, or maybe just realize that you are placing too much importance on it, even because some people really don't even care, and it's just not even a thought in their mind anymore, and you've just beaten yourself up about it for a long time. Then you have empowerment. You are more powerful than you realize, and it is safe for you to be powerful. A lot of people need to hear this, and especially if you are someone who has integrity, you will never be able to abuse power. You need to also remember that if you find yourself fighting abundance, you need to realize that in order to help others, you need to be abundant. If you were powerful and you were abundant and you had plenty of everything and you have integrity as well, you would use your power for betterment of others. You would use your abundance for betterment of others. You'd use your money and your power that you have, or your powerful position in society, whatever it is, to create good. So if that is inherently what you are and you work with integrity in whatever you do, you are unable to abuse power. You're unable to abuse abundance. So why are you not deserving of it? You should be saying to yourself, I deserve to be a millionaire, because if I was a millionaire, I would do this and that and that. And there's only good energy in that. I would help people. I would change things. And if we all have that mindset and we all start attracting that abundance, that is totally possible. All right, so that leads us to dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. This is really possible, people. We've been in a mindset where we've all watched The Secret and all of this kind of thing, and we've said to ourselves, this has just really never worked. there's been a shift, and we are all part of it. It is a collective shift. That's why I always do the readings for the collective. There's are those people that are going to move on and they're going to dream big, and there are those that are going to choose not to. And you need to decide which side you're on. If you've already started manifesting, you already know which side you're on. Okay, and finally the scribe or writer. This makes perfect sense to me because I always tell people at New Moon, please make a list of the things you want to get rid of. And then a good exercise is to set it alight, let it burn up into the ether and say, okay, I'm done with that. It's burnt, it's gone. And then, even after the new moon, sit down and write a list of what you do want to bring into your life and shift your focus away from the stuff you've gotten rid of. It's burnt, it's gone. And then focus on, okay, what do I want to bring into my life? What are the positive things? This will give you clarity. It's a simple exercise, but it really helps. Okay, I'm going to finally pick some cards from my Spirit Oracle deck, which has always got good advice. And I think I'm just going to do 2 or 3, but they will decide ultimately how many we're supposed to have. And then we are done for this new moon. I'm not going to do a separate twin flame reading unless you guys really nag me and really feel you need to. But I think, you know, for the people who are in twin flame, they all know that we've had to get to a point here where the feminine, whichever you are, that's not to say that it is literally a female, but the feminine needs to let go and work on themselves, which is all this self-improvement, self-love we've been talking about, and taking action and not being able to help it is the masculine side. They're finally going to come forward if they haven't, and if they're in separation, and things are going to happen. I mean, it's inevitable. All the signs are there, people. Spouse, love life, love, compassion, new moon, promise with a couple and soulmate relationship. New romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. I didn't read the bottom of that for you guys. Okay, so let's see what these have got to tell us tonight. One more shuffle. What messages do they have for us? What do we need to know tonight for the new moon? I'm only going to take one at a time. That flies out of the deck. Ooh, they heard me. Aura of love. At the back it says, the union of light and dark, the earth and the sky, balancer of anima and animus, the merging of two souls. Acknowledge the feminine and masculine aspects of yourself, both yin and yang, to create a perfect balance. Okay, I'm not sucking that out of my thumb. There it is. That's lovely. Okay. Romantic relationships, people. Romantic relationships. Whether you're manifesting it or you're in it, it's hugely in focus at the moment. Hugely. There's no mistaking. Okay, what else we got? Anything else? And balancing in yourself. Hey, that's all the self-care. Self-care is going to bring romance into your life if you haven't had it, or you need a better quality relationship, or you're manifesting it. That's the key. If there's something missing and it hasn't happened yet, it's because you haven't started that exercise regime, or you haven't started drinking more water. It sounds so silly, but if you're not looking after yourself properly, not going to happen. Blessings. Celebration. Remember we had celebration and dance? Blessings, you are being helped. And it says, blessings, you are being showered with light. Your creativity is being stirred, activated, set alight. An endless stream of rainbow color stems from your heart. What is rainbow color stemming from your heart? It's love. I thought I saw a rainbow somewhere in the other cards. I've made a nice mess here, but you know, I know what's going on. Organized chaos. Okay, and I think we're going to do one more. I can't show you that side. One last message, please. If you have. What else do you need us to know? One, two. We haven't had Kuan Yin from this pack tonight. And last one. And that's it. Positive outcome. There is hope. Don't give up now. Have faith. Trust. The forces of love are at work behind the scenes. Expect a joyous and positive outcome. That could not have summarized this message or this reading any better. I'm actually going to post these on my Instagram tonight, the ones that we got from the Spirit Oracle. There is hope. Don't give up now. Have faith. Trust. The forces of love are at work behind the scenes. Expect a joyous and positive outcome. I read that backwards. Aren't you proud of me? Okay, ladies and gents, it was my honor to give you this message tonight. Such good news, beautiful stuff. I couldn't have had better with regards to messages of love and positivity. So I wish you all a beautiful new moon, and don't forget that you can get me on Instagram at Eiro-Asis, spelled E-I-R Oasis. And yes, if you want to book a reading with me, please go to the link in my bio on Instagram, or you can go to my Etsy shop. It's also Eiro-Asis, E-I-R Oasis, all one word. But there are links that I will place at the bottom of this video, and also, like I say, on my Instagram. All right. Wishing you all a beautiful week ahead and many, many changes. I would love to hear any stories you're willing to share. It's always lovely to hear and encouraging for everybody else as well. Okay, take care. See you soon. Bye.